Good evening, and welcome to the Performing Arts Center at Kent State Tuscarawas for tonight's 49th Kent State University Tuscarawas Commencement Ceremony. Before we begin this evening, we need to ask for your attention to some theater details. Please take a moment to locate the exit nearest to your seat. It is likely that it is not the door you used to enter the theater. In the very unlikely event of an emergency, you will be glad that you know the quickest path to safety. Food, drinks, and tobacco products are not permitted in the theater. If you have any of these with you, please return them to the lobby. Tonight, we celebrate the accomplishments and achievements of many of our Kent State Tuscarawas students. Please respect all involved this evening by taking a moment to silence your mobile phones and anything else that may cause a disruption. Finally, photography and video recording of this event are permitted, provided you disable your flash. If you do not know how to disable the flash on your device, have someone help you do that, or perhaps ask others to share their pictures later. Thank you. And now, the 49th commencement at Kent State University, Tuscarawas. We ask you now, if you're able, to please stand. Gentlemen, please remove your hats and let us honor America with the playing of our national anthem presented by the Kent State Tuscarawas University Band led by Mr. James Graves.
Please be seated. Please join me in thanking the Kent State Tuscarawas University Band under the direction of Mr. James Graves for our evening's performance.
Well, good evening, everyone. As Dean and Chief Administrative Officer of Kent State University at Tuscarawas, and on behalf of the Tuscarawas County University Branch District and our entire campus community, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our 49th annual commencement ceremony. And commencement is indeed my favorite time of the year. It is the culmination of all that we do as a campus, and it reaffirms how we impact the quality of life of our students and this community. The commencement exercise is an academic tradition celebrated in a similar fashion by colleges and universities across this nation, thus in some way connecting us to the larger academy. The American tradition dates back to 1642 at Harvard University and included 9 commencers who gave lengthy orations in Hebrew, Greek, and Latin. Our commencement speaker has decided to forego the Hebrew, Greek, and Latin tonight. However, please understand, graduates, that tonight you not only become alumni of Kent State University, but also become part of the greater society of learned women and men. In keeping with this tradition, tonight we confer degrees at the master's, baccalaureate, and associate levels. These degrees are the product of the hard work of our students and the exceptional faculty who teach them. I know that each of you has a really unique story. Many in your families you're the first person to graduate from college. A lot of you had to work or chose to work full-time while pursuing a college degree. And for many of you, this is a long-time dream finally come true. For all students, we know you have learned much from us, but we have also learned an awful lot from each of you. Your special talents are recognized and appreciated by members of the Kent State University Tuscarawas community. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce several special guests and individuals who have served our campus in a number of ways during the past academic year and often many, many years before. I would ask that they stand and be recognized as I acknowledge their participation this evening. Please hold your applause until the end as each group is introduced. From the Kent State University Board of Trustees, Blair Hillier, Roger Lyle, Sally O'Donnell, Mike Ernest, Robin Waltz, and Chairman Frank Rose, Jr. Thank you. It is also my pleasure to recognize tonight's commencement speaker, Mrs. Wendy Zuckel, Executive Director of the Denison Depot. Thank you, Wendy. Seated on the stage and participating in this evening's awarding of degrees within their academic disciplines are Dr. Stephen A. Minnick, Assistant Dean of Kent State University, Tuscarawas; John Baker, Program Coordinator for Office Technology; Lisa K. Brindley, Program Coordinator, Early Childhood Education Technology; Joni Lappin, Director of Nursing; Dr. Kim Houston, Program Director of Veterinary Technology; Mr. Paul Dykeshorn, Director of Engineering Technology; Dr. Sandra Peck, Program Coordinator for Early Childhood Education; and Dr. Kathy Davis Patterson, Associate Professor of English and Chair of the Faculty. Please join me in thanking those individuals. And of course, the most important group on the stage tonight are our faculty. I would ask the faculty rise as a body and please be acknowledged for all you do for Kent State University, Tuscarawas. I'm very pleased to announce that our commencement speaker is Mrs. Wendy Zuckel. Wendy earned her Master of Arts in Public History from Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and a Bachelor of Arts in History from Marietta College in Marietta, Ohio. As the Executive Director of the Denison Railroad Depot Museum for the past 30 years, Wendy built the museum from the ground up, raising over $7 million for the restoration. In 2011, the museum was designated as Tuscarawas County's first National Historic Landmark. That same year, it was recognized as the Institute of the Year by the Ohio Museum Association. In all, Zuckel directs a network of 4 museums, 2 of which were created under her leadership: the Museum of Clay Industry and Folk Art in Uhrichsville, and the Ohio History Connection site and historic Schönbrunn Village. Her leadership has cultivated strong membership and donor networks, developed multiple streams of income, attracted and mobilized multiple volunteer organizations totaling 600 individuals, while maintaining and improving various historical properties. She has raised and administered funds to implement 10 major phases of renovation totaling $6 million and built a membership base of 1,500 members in 23 states, in Canada, and even Germany. Her leadership vision has led to the creation of the Women's Success Series, the Museum Leadership Exchange, and the Patriot Rally, and, of course, many of you probably have taken a ride on the Polar Express. Serving on many area boards, Wendy is currently the first female president in the 50-year history of the Tuscarawas County Community Improvement Corporation. She is second vice president and outreach co-chair of the Ohio Local History Alliance Board, and in 2020, she will be the only second female to be president of the EDFA of Tuscarawas County. Wendy has received many awards throughout her career and was most recently recognized as Museum Professional of the Year by the Ohio Museum Association, and she was elected president of the Ohio Local History Alliance. We have a very impressive speaker tonight. please join me in welcoming to the podium Mrs. Wendy Zuckel.
Congratulations, class of 2019. Today is one of the most exciting and important moments of your life. Dr. Bilski, esteemed staff, soon-to-be graduates, and parents, I am so honored to share this day with you. Congratulations on all your hard work and your accomplishments which have led you to this day. Enjoy every moment, because tomorrow, reality sets in. Tomorrow, life hits you in the face hard. So gear up and prepare for battle, because it's game on. I've been asked here today to share some words of wisdom with you as you begin to navigate this new journey you're about to take. But more than words of wisdom, I want to help you unveil your superpowers. Renowned author Malcolm Gladwell has a theory that there are no overnight successes. Instead, we each have 10,000 hours of collected experiences, education, and accomplishments which help us succeed. The sum total of this is what I'm calling your superpowers. Often, we don't realize we have these powers, or we forget about them. Worse, we never use them. But they are there, waiting on you. And if you put them in motion, you will have the ability to be a superhero. And this world needs some more superheroes. When you think of a superhero, you think of Superman. Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Hopefully, you will not have to leap any tall buildings, but you will have to leap over huge obstacles. I'd like to share with you 4 qualities of a hero that will help you meet the endless challenges you will face. The first power you will need to use is your fighting spirit. You will have good days and you will have bad days. You will have successes and you will have failures. Like Superman, you will face your own form of kryptonite and grow weak. You will face naysayers, people who will tell you you can't do it. You will be amazed at how many people will try to chip away at your strength on a daily basis. You will have to put your superhero cape on, pull out your fighting spirit, and prove that they are wrong. When the village of Denison bought the Denison Depot in 1984 and announced their plan to save it, people thought they were nuts. Articles in the local paper said it couldn't be done. Raising money in the beginning was very hard because people couldn't see the vision. The depot was an underdog. The leaders went to Buckeye asking for help, and the superintendent at that time, Joe Carlisle, said, "Sure, we'll commit our students to the project." But he also said, "I'll probably never see that building done in my lifetime." The depot finally opened in 1989 and has since put millions more into the restoration. And I'm happy to report Joe Carlisle is still very much alive. The Times Reporter started to change their articles to stories about a town that had grit. Flash forward 10 years, and it became clear that the depot had a bigger story to tell. Because of its role during World War I and World War II as a servicemen's canteen that served 1.5 million soldiers, we thought it might be worthy of becoming a National Historic Landmark, a site with national significance. In fact, we've discovered it was the best example left in the entire country of a World War II canteen. When we shared this goal, the naysayers came out of the woodworks in hordes. We found ourselves once again the underdog. I was told repeatedly to give it up, told it wasn't worthy, told it was too hard, told to quit trying because it would never, ever happen. It took us 11 years. But in 2011, the Denison Depot was officially named a National Historic Landmark, the very first one in Tuscarawas County. The Times Reporter began to write stories about the town that wouldn't quit. What is important is this: when you hit that roadblock, don't give up. And if you fail, pull yourself up and try again. Because the #1 trait employers are looking for today are resilient problem solvers. The second superpower you will need to unleash is your endless quest for knowledge. Your education should never end, and certainly not today. I hope you spend a lifetime learning. How does a hero gain knowledge? One way is to have mentors. You don't need to face the world alone. There are people out there willing to help you. Surround yourself with people smarter than you and be open to learning. I have mentors I have kept throughout my entire career. Choose people who will help you fly, who will inspire you. Another way to gain knowledge is to push your boundaries and expand your role. It's okay if your mentors are not in your field. In fact, it's okay if you don't end up working in your field. I tell my staff, the best employees are those that don't have tunnel vision, that don't develop a leadership cap, but look wide and are open to exploring ideas beyond their own role. So push yourself out of your comfort zone. My career took a very positive turn when I began to get involved in economic development. When I came to Tuscarawas County, I quickly noticed that many of the movers and shakers were involved in an organization called the Community Improvement Corporation. That was the room where it happened, and boy, I wanted in that room. I wanted to learn from those leaders. Now, I'm sure you're asking yourself the same question that I asked myself at the time. Why would this prestigious group want a director for a brand new museum on their board, someone with absolutely no economic development experience? And did I mention the board was almost entirely male? And I'm not. How could I possibly get elected? Well, I got on, and I found myself at a table with 40 mentors, learning from 40 of the best and brightest leaders in the county. It has been one of the most beneficial experiences for me and for our museum. So how did I get on that board? Using the third best way to gain knowledge, ask. Ask the question. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. I didn't get elected. I got on the board because I discovered the mayors of Urixville and Denison both had a seat on the board, but neither could attend the meetings. So I asked, would they consider appointing me in their place, hoping one would do it. Turns out they both did. I worked hard, learned everything I could, earned my opinion, and eventually became the first female president in the history of that organization. The third power you will need to unfurl is your courage, your ability to face your fears. At a Chamber of Commerce event, I won a Dale Carnegie class. I really wanted the copy machine they were giving away because we needed it, but instead, I won the Dale Carnegie class. I was disappointed, but very foolish. Here was a gift of unbelievable knowledge. The one thing I learned in that class that has stuck with me for life is that when you're afraid to do something, ask yourself, if things go wrong, what is the worst thing that can happen? Usually, the worst thing's not that bad. And if things go south, you still have your courage and knowledge to overcome. So be bold, take the risk. You will find yourselves many times with a good idea, and then you know what happens. We talk ourselves out of it because we're afraid of failing. There was a time at the depot when we began to have great success at grant writing, and suddenly other museums were asking us to help them write grants. So we had this crazy idea. Let's start some grant writing workshops and raise some extra money for the museum. Then the negative self-talk begins. Who are we to teach grant writing? Why would anyone think we were experts? They will surely know we are imposters. We had other great ideas: to create a Women's Success Series, to create a museum leadership exchange, to create the Tuscarawas County Woman of the Year Award, to create the T County Patriot Rally to get kids excited about history. Every time we face the same doubts, the same questions. Should we do it? Maybe there's someone else who's better than we are. Your biggest threat is going to be your own self-doubt. Ultimately, we were bold and made the leap. We put on our superhero capes, faced our fears, and had great success putting all those ideas into motion. We made a positive impact and made our county a better place. Which leads me to the last superpower, which will not be surprising. Every superhero knows they need to save the world. And by saving, I mean make the world a better place, have an impact, and leave a legacy. Remember that modern heroes help others and give back to the community. They are selfless. They understand service. They use their power to rescue people in a million different ways. I encourage you to think about how you will use your superpowers to help others, and to start now. You may be lucky to graduate and get your dream job right off the bat. Chances are, however, you'll have 2, 3, or more jobs before you get to that dream job. Don't wait on the dream job. Don't wait to get a green light before you start making a difference. Make a difference wherever you land. I had a great boss who once told me, Wendy, you don't have to make it perfect. You just have to make it better every day. You don't have to solve world peace. Maybe you just save a depot. Or maybe an impact can be as small as a cup of coffee. Every day at the Denison Depot, I walk in the footsteps of American heroes, those that served on the battlefield and those that served on the home front. I think about those young men all the time, how they left home right out of high school, traveled to the parts of the world they'd never heard of, how they were homesick and afraid, and on their way to war. When those heroes stopped on the train in Denison, they were greeted on the platform by another group of heroes, the canteen ladies on the home front. I think often about those women. They had one job to do: make the soldiers know the country was behind them. And they did it in a simple way, with a cup of coffee. They sent those soldiers to war with a heartwarming memory of home, knowing it might be their last. 417,000 of those brave young men died in World War II. For many, it was indeed their last memory. But in that brief moment, when one hero met the other to share a cup of coffee, those women changed the world. You see, there's a second reason the Denison Depot is a National Historic Landmark. It's recognized because it's an example of how the homefront effort dramatically changed our nation's morale across the country, which became a major factor in winning the war. Something as small as a cup of coffee can make an impact that changes the world. Never underestimate the positive good you can do, and never let the size of your organization or the size of its budget determine your value. In closing, I want to remind you of Dorothy in Wizard of Oz. Remember, at the end of her journey, she discovered that she had always had the ability to go home. In a similar way, I hope you understand right now that you always have the superpowers within you to achieve your dreams. So when they tell you you can't restore an old depot, and they tell you you will never become a national landmark, and they tell you that no woman will be president of the board, and they tell you that it is impossible to change the world from a small town in Ohio, and whatever your dreams are, you can't reach them, you tell them they are wrong, and then you prove it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Wendy. We appreciate that. Thanks for being a hero for our community. And this is the point where we do the polar coaster, right? If you've ever been on the Polar Express, they always do the polar coaster. So anyway, sorry about that. On behalf of the Kent State Tuscarawas Alumni Association, it is my pleasure to welcome you as the graduating class of 2019 and encourage you to go straight from commencement to remaining active in campus life through your complimentary membership in the Kent State Tuscarawas Alumni Association. As our newest graduates, you join thousands of students who have earned degrees from this special place who have gone on to forge successful careers in a variety of fields. We hope that your experiences on campus will provide a strong foundation for all your future endeavors and inspire you to make a real difference in the world. Please take a few moments in the upcoming weeks to go online and register for your complimentary membership and become part of a special association that exists to serve our campus, our graduates, and our community in developing, fostering, and sharing the pride that we all have for Kent State Tuscarawas. We're ready to celebrate and connect you with other alumni who wish to remain informed of opportunities to learn, grow, and give back in the years ahead. Thank you, my sincere congratulations, and best wishes. Also, it's my distinct honor to acknowledge the Alumni Association's most prestigious award. This year's Distinguished Alumni Award goes to Trent Troyer, President and CEO of First Federal Community Bank. He was selected for his outstanding community commitment and continued support of Kent State Tuscarawas. Trent graduated from the campus in 1985 with a business management technology degree before earning his bachelor's degree from Ashland University and completing the American Bankers Association Stonier Graduate School of Banking at Georgetown University. Trent, will you please come forward? Lastly, class of 2019, remember, once a golden eagle, always a golden eagle.
Each year, the Tuscarawas campus honors a special individual who has generously volunteered his or her time and invested in our community's well-being. This year, we are pleased to recognize Shirley Wagner for her years of dedication to the community, and particularly for her support of the Kent State Tuscarawas. If you look at your program, you will find a long list of organizations that have benefited from her generosity over the years. As a career educator, she clearly values the role that the region's history, performing arts, and post-secondary education play in creating vibrant communities and impacting the lives of individuals. Shirley is also a member of our very own Chestnut Society. Shirley, thank you for making our hometown an extraordinary place to live and work. And I'll now utter two words that she probably thought I would never, ever say: go Quakers. The Tuscarawas campus is also fortunate to have our very own Distinguished Teaching Awards, supported by the Tuscarawas County University Foundation. Past recipients have not only won our local award, but have often been recognized as some of the best teachers in the entire university system. Faculty are nominated by our students and are rigorously reviewed by a committee of prior recipients. Our part-time winner was announced at the Spring Awards. However, tonight we begin a new tradition by announcing the full-time winner here at Commencement. I will announce the finalists, ask them to stand, and then ask the winner to come to the podium to receive the award. The award finalists are Tony Delacacia, English; Tim Fritz, Modeling, Animation, and Game Creation; Dr. Beth Oskowitz, Mathematics. Comments made by students of this year's winner include: always pushes students to think beyond what is taught, encourages students to challenge themselves with examples that stretch their abilities while helping them to learn and improve, never stops at the basic understanding of a topic, always engaging and encouraging, and the most organized professor I've ever had. Please join me in recognizing this year's Distinguished Teaching Award recipient, Dr. Beth Oskowitz. I now invite Dr. Stephen Minnick back to the podium.
Candidates, when your degree is called, please rise and remain standing. The candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies. The candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts in Criminology and Justice Studies. The candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. The candidates for the degree Bachelor of Business Administration in Accounting. The candidates for the degree Bachelor of Business Administration in Business Management. The candidate for the degree Bachelor of Business Administration in Entrepreneurship. The candidate for the degree Bachelor of Business Administration in Finance. The candidate for the degree Bachelor of Science in Public Health. The candidate for the degree Bachelor of Technical and Applied Studies. The candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Engineering Technology. The candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Education, Early Childhood Education. The candidate for the degree Bachelor of Science in Education, Integrated Science. The candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Nursing for Registered Nurses. The candidates for the degree Associate of Arts. The candidates for the degree Associate of Arts in Justice Studies. The candidates for the degree Associate of Science. The candidates for the degree Associates of Applied Business and Business Management Technology. The candidates for the degree Associate of Applied Science in Early Childhood Education Technology. The candidates for the degree Associate of Applied Science in Electrical Electronic Engineering Technology. The candidates for the degree Associate of Applied Science in Mechanical Engineering Technology. The candidates for the degree Associate of Applied Science in Nursing. The candidates for the degree Associate of Applied Science in Veterinary Technology. Dean Bielski, upon recommendation of the faculty of Kent State University at Tuscarawas, I present to you as candidates for the bachelor's degrees and associate's degrees in their respective programs these students who have satisfied all requirements for the bachelor's degrees and associate's degrees programs as determined by their academic departments.
Under the authority of the laws of the State of Ohio and by designation from the Kent State University Board of Trustees and Kent State University's President, Dr. Beverly J. Warren, I, upon recommendation of the faculty, confer upon each of you the master's, bachelor's, and associate degree you have earned as listed in the commencement program. You may now turn your tassels. Except for the associate candidates in the fourth row center or row D, please be seated until the marshal asks your row to stand and approach the podium. As you present yourselves by rows to the podium, representative of your respective academic areas and I will present you with evidence of your achievement. We welcome the graduates for the Associate of Arts. Paige B. Bizarre. Tabitha L. Goins. Abigail C. Canese. We welcome the graduates for the Associate of Arts in Justice Studies. Alec Q. Hall. Brooke N. Wilcox. We welcome the graduates for the Associate of Science, Kirsten M. Ferguson. Ensley L. Holland. Lindsay K. Hughes. Mary Jane Mendoza. Austin J. Monagold. Dallas M. Romig.
Shelley M. Stevens. Madison M. Watkins.
We welcome the graduates for the Associate of Applied Business in Business Management Technology. Luke W. Butcher. Graduating with distinction, Kathy A. Jones. Zachary M. Menert.
We welcome the graduates for the Associates of Applied Science in Early Childhood Education Technology. Graduating with distinction, Trinity G. Bailey. Lindsay M. Caldwell. Graduating with distinction, Courtney D. Dre. Graduating with distinction, Kyle D. Stotzer.
We welcome the graduates for the Associate of Applied Science in Electrical Electronic Engineering Technology. Aaron C. Neisel. Robert Stewart. We welcome the graduates for the Associate of Applied Science in Mechanical Engineering Technology. Wyatt C. Angel. Also graduating with Associate of Applied Science in Electrical Electronic Engineering Technology, Derek C. Ellinger, Jr. Graduating with distinction, also graduating with Associate of Applied Science in Electrical Electronic Engineering Technology, Zachary G. Howes. Graduating with distinction, also graduating with a certificate in CAD for manufacturing, Seth M. Miller. Graduating with distinction, Cade M. Rainsberg.
We welcome the graduates for the Associate of Applied Science in Nursing. Aaron B. Anderson. Graduating with distinction, Eric W. Anderson. Brooke M. Bays. Veronica C. Betts. Kayla N. Blake. Rachel M. Boyd. Robert W. Burns. Emily A. Chavare. Francesca Clemente. Seika M. Kogar. Also graduating with an Associate of Technical Study degree in Radiology Technology, Debbie R. Haney. Also graduating with the Associates of Science degree, Christine E. Harrett. Samantha K. Heston. Bradley W. Hume. Molly L. Jacobs. Elizabeth A. Kornacki. Reagan P. Laporte. Devin A. Laser. Sierra C. Mackey. April L. McClure. Emily K. Meeks. Mackenzie L. Moner. Kayla N. Murphy. Ashley N. Pate. Trevor D. Poole. Graduating with distinction, Lauren N. Ramey. Abigail A. Rosenberg. Haley E. Sable. Graduating with distinction, Samantha M. Sayer. Graduating with distinction, Autumn E. Schau. Jalen A. Shelton. Shannon S. Shinholster. Mariah A. Stanford. Preston S. Stutzman. Randy L. Tesla. David P. Treharn. Elizabeth C. Tripp. Graduating with distinction, Sable M. Vanderpool. Vanessa A. Vega. Carrie L. Walter. Taylor M. Walter. Justin R. Ward. Katie A. Wright. Kara N. Young. Taylor N. Young. Graduating with distinction, Amy L. Zumba.
We welcome the graduates for the Associate of Applied Science in Veterinary Technology. Corey B. Barkman. Michaela L. Dolkowski. Kaylee A. Epley. Taylor R. Goldenbogen. Kylie R. Greer. Jenna R. Kearns. Ricky L. Moore. Carly F. Reitman. Jasmine B. Sambrook. Corey J. Schmucker. Also graduating with an Associate of Science degree, Heather M. Swickard. Amelia N. Zubek.
We welcome the graduates for the Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies. Graduating cum laude, Seth A. Crilly. Olivia N. Marsh. Curtis M. Moreland. Allison A. Romeo. We welcome the graduates for the Bachelor of Arts in Criminology and Justice Studies. Graduating magna cum laude and also graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology and an Associate of Arts in Justice Studies, Brianna C. Fichuk. Savannah M. Randolph. Also graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, Megan L. Wells. We welcome the graduates for the Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Graduating magna cum laude and also graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Criminology and Justice Studies, Jennifer F. Eversole. Kayla L. Grossenbacher. Also graduating with an Associate of Arts degrees, Kylie Hay. Graduating cum laude, also graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Criminology and Justice Studies and an Associate of Arts degree, Wendy J. Pease. Graduating cum laude, Michelle L. Sauerenheimer. We welcome the graduates for the Bachelor of Business Administration in Accounting. Graduating cum laude, Chelsea N. Kopp. Jace B. Maurer. Also graduating with an Associate of Arts degree, Dylan J. Schwartz. We welcome the graduates for the Bachelor of Business Administration in Business Management, Drake R. Detweiler. Joshua A. Haney. Richard J. Ross. Graduating cum laude, Robert P. Yonley II. We welcome the graduate for the Bachelor of Business Administration and Entrepreneurship, Samuel J. Ross. We welcome the graduate for the Bachelor of Business Administration in Finance, Daniel M. Everett. We welcome the graduate for the Bachelor of Science in Public Health, Amy E. Maurer. We welcome the graduate for the Bachelor of Technical and Applied Studies, graduating cum laude, Tristan O. Ward.
We welcome the graduates for the Bachelor of Science in Engineering Technology, Ryan S. Sayer. Also graduating with an Associate of Science degree, Aaron J. Schwartz. Graduating magna cum laude, Tanner J. Shetler. James E. Thomas Jr. Oops, sorry. Graduating cum laude, also graduating with Associate of Applied Science in Mechanical Engineering Technology degree, Harold J. Starkey. James E. Thomas Jr. Kevin D. Fogel.
We welcome the graduates for the Bachelor of Science in Education, Early Childhood Education. Graduating cum laude, Joy E. Allison. Gabrielle V. R. Atkinson. Graduating summa cum laude, Alexandria M. Beatty. Heather V. Campbell. Taylor A. Copeland. Graduating magna cum laude, also graduating with an Associate of Science degree, Kara D. Diamond. Graduating cum laude, Alexandria A. Gossett. Patrick E. Hurst. Graduating cum laude, Elizabeth A. Jarvis. Rachel L. Liddy. Erica E. Michael. Also graduating with an Associate of Science degree, Chelsea E. Miser. Graduating cum laude, Daisha G. Pryor. Graduating cum laude, Allison M. Sponseller. Courtney Swain. Morgan G. Woodhull. Gabriel F. Young. We welcome the graduate for the Bachelor of Science in Education, Integrated Science, Travis M. Houghton.
We welcome the graduate for the Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Nursing for Registered Nurses, Samantha R. Shar.
Dean Bielski, I present to you the graduating class of 2019.
I only have about an hour to go and we're finished. A little bit of housekeeping. Following this evening's commencement program, all guests, please join us for a reception in the lobby of the Performing Arts Center. We would then after the recessional begins, for the members of the guests and the family to stay seated while our graduates process out. Would everyone please now rise for the singing, though, of our alma mater.
Step up over here. Stand right here. You guys
row.